Hey there, Sean here. Oh, that's international music sensation. So, no, literally, people will see this overseas and it'll be sensational. So anyway, for a while there, I was singing opera in the morning to get my inspiration up, and I was like, if you fill your lungs and then fill the space, you can instantly get a boost to your inspiration. And I've certainly found that to be true. So anyway, as a mental exercise, imagine 4 men riding down the street on 4 bikes. It's the exact same bike. It's the same day, same weather, same street, but all 4 men are having a different experience. The first one was gifted his bike, so he was loved. Somebody loved him, he accepted it, he said thank you. The next one stole his bike, just took it. And the third one got lucky, won his bike in a contest, and he's having a different experience. And then the last one worked for his bike, got a job, he set goals, he received his bike that way. So, gift, work, cheat, or luck. And it's interesting for me to think, well, how would you like to receive something into your life? What's the method that would make you feel the best? Because obviously the 4 men, they're having sort of a different emotional response to the exact same situation. They could be miserable or they could be completely happy. Even gift, because it seems like the answer is obvious. It's like people tend to, because I think in our society we lionize somebody who earns their way, kind of bloodies their knuckles in the fight to get something. And so there's sort of an automatic, oh, well, work is obviously the best one. But the question is, would you be willing to receive something as a gift? Would you be willing to receive really good things in your life just because they came your way? And that can be luck too. That just plain good fortune, something sort of falls into your experience. And for me personally, I've been shifting towards gift, that it's okay to have things go right in your life. And there's a completely different topic here about upper limiting and self-sabotage. So one day, my 2 sons come into my art studio, and they've ridden their bikes there. They want to go to the local game shop, and so they're there to get some money from me. And I say, and they're familiar with this gift, cheat, work, or luck thing. And so I'm like, okay, well, which one do you choose? So oh my gosh, how old was he? He was 9. I had a 9-year-old son and a 13-year-old son. So I say to the 9-year-old son, I'm like, okay, how much do you want? And that's carefully phrased because it's not how much do you need, it's how much do you want? Like in your ideal situation, how much do you want? And in my mind, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give him whatever he wants. Just if he says it, if he just asks for it. And so I tell him, I ask, how much do you want? And he says, I want $20. That's the biggest number that he can think of. Side note, there's a great book called The Aladdin Factor, which is about asking for things. And it's a very interesting book. It's a very light read. I would highly recommend it. And it talks about there's 4 reasons why you wouldn't ask for something. And one of them is, I can't remember them off the top of my head. One of them is that you actually don't know that the thing exists. So ignorance can be a reason why not to ask for something. So he says the highest number that he can think of, the big number, $20. And I ask, so I say, what do you want, gift, cheat, work, or luck? He says, I want gift. And I'm like, okay, you shall have your $20. And so I turn to my 13-year-old son And I say, okay, how much do you want? And he says, Dad, I need 15. So he only asks for like the bare minimum that he needs. He doesn't want to like impose, which incidentally is kind of my upper limit problem, is to not impose on people. So I say, okay, you'll have your $15. How do you want to receive it? And he says, I want to work for it. And I'm like, all right, fantastic. I'll give you a list of things to do. And when you're done, you can come get your $15. So, and I've told this story to people. I'd be interested in hearing your comments, preferably via email. Check the liner notes for my email address. And I've told this story to quite a few people, and it's unusual how they react to it. It's like, oh, well, the good son obviously was willing to work for his stuff. But me personally, I look at my younger son and I think, okay, there's somebody that's really in the flow of the wonderful life, because he's ready to receive something. He's ready just to let something good happen to him. And there was one morning when my now former spouse was driving me to work. This is many years ago. And I was absolutely racked out of my mind with stress. I'm just like so uptight about things. And incidentally, a sensation that's fewer and farther between these days. Used to feel like that multiple times a week, sometimes multiple times a day. And so I'm just like, we drive out and I'm like, why is it so miserable? And she says, Sean, the problem is how you're looking at it. It's that you and I both had the same experience this morning. We got the kids ready, we ate the same breakfast, but you're miserable and I'm happy. And as much as it kind of chafed me to realize that, oh my gosh, it was so true, that you really can have the same experience, the same physical experience, the same sensory experience, the forms, as it were, the things around, but one person be absolutely miserable and the other person be completely happy. And that is my idea. The four cyclists. Which experience would you like to have? All right, thanks for tuning in.